So I'm really hoping this works this time because I'm getting really tired of getting cut off here. But anyway, well, let's just say I was starting to do a video a little bit ago and I got cut off, so I wasn't very happy about that, but I'm back. It's all good. I had to call my phone company and find out what was going on, and believe it or not, my phone is actually cutting off people when I'm talking to them, like just regular phone calls and stuff. And I don't understand why, because it makes no sense at all. Like, I don't know anything about phones really, but I know that my phone isn't supposed to be doing that, and my freaking hair is a mess here. But anyway, um, well, where do you even begin with this? Like, seriously. Again, it's nighttime and I can't sleep. I guess I'll be doing these live videos quite a bit now when I can't sleep. Might as well. There's no use to even try to go to bed or anything because I just lay there and pray or, cry. Cry a lot. Because the pain that I go through daily is pain that no mother should have to feel. And I won't sit here and talk about it because I can't. And I'm sure most of you guys know that. But what I can do is quite a bit still. I just can't. I just can't do what I want to do, you know, and that's the bad part. What I can do, however, is sing again. I'm allowed to do that. I picked 2 songs once again, pretty much like last night. One was for my mom, my dearly departed mother that has been gone since 2001. So I should not choke up, but if I do, please excuse me. This is not easy. This is something me, my mom, and my sister used to do together. And now that she's not here, you know, I used to do this for my children. Sing to them every night, put them to sleep, or close to every night. I can't say it was every night because it wasn't. I've told them stories and other stuff too, like I said on my other video. But, you know, wow. All I can say about pretty much everything that's going on right now is support in everything that you guys are doing right now is absolutely amazing to me. The things that people are saying and is stuff that I want to say, stuff I wanted to say for a long time, and I never knew who to contact. And then when I was sitting here visiting with a friend one day and I told him my story and he contacted the right people and got my story heard. I am actually gagged right now by the judge for making a medical kidnap story that I myself did not even do. That's the bad part. I didn't even write the medical kidnap story. I told a friend in my living room, and you know, he searched into it and found a lot of stuff that should not have been done. Let me just say it like that. And everything that we have said, or everything that I should say they have said or done, it's all true. And I can prove 100% that everything they said and have done and all that it's all nothing but the truth, you know. And the fact of the matter is I have proof of it all. Anybody that wants to see proof or wants to investigate into this, be more than welcome to, because I have everything you could possibly need. I kept all documentation. I kept track of everything, every contact I've ever had with the children, every contact I tried to have with my children, anything. you know, and the fact of the matter is, it's a broken system. I don't know if a lot of people out there know that, but foster families, oh my goodness, what can I say? It's hard enough on our children, you know, to be in the system, and then they get abused in foster systems. And I'm not saying all of them, because that's not true, but a lot of them. And everything that has been posted about DCF or CYS or children and youth in other states or my state or anywhere, I have taken note of, and I'm actually going to be using that. I don't know if you guys noticed, earlier today I posted something, a few stories actually, of foster parents that killed children, our children, that, you know, they're supposed to care for, while whatever it is, the reason that we lost them, you know. And then I can't even imagine that. I know what it feels like not to have them, but I don't know what it feels like to grieve for a child that has been born and, you know, isn't ever going to come home again. I do know how it is to grieve for children that are alive. And that, my friends, is one of the hardest things any mother, father, or anybody in the entire world can ever go through. My husband has to go through so much with me, and he continues to do it. Why? Because he loves me and he supports me, and no matter what I do. The fact of the matter is, I've gotten off all pain medications that even were prescribed. And like I've always said, you know, God does everything in his own time. And I do believe that this was his timing, you know, that I reached out when I did and everything. Because it's like, okay, let's just say you're on Oxycontin, oxycodone, and oxymorphone, which is actually a morphine, but called Opana. That medication is all mind altering, and there's doctors that are coming forward and telling people why that medication is mind altering, and it's actually has a side effect of getting amnesia from it, and you just don't feel, it's like you have a mask on to what's going on around you. You know, you absolutely, you know, but you don't know what to do about it, you know, and you don't feel it as much as now today, since I've gotten off all the pain medications. It took me to get on methadone to get off that medication, and I did that in 2011. And from 2011 to 2000, and I believe it was 13, that I was on methadone, because I was pregnant during my methadone. And my son, wow, I went through so much having him. Even to have him, it was almost not even possible to have him. They wanted me to terminate the pregnancy. Doctors did, because it was a high-risk pregnancy. And they wanted to do surgeries because I kept not being able to keep anything down. And then here comes me going to McGee's Hospital, Women's Hospital in Pittsburgh, all the time, just to feed the baby, you know. They had to feed him through IV. And when he came out, 5 pounds, 12 ounces, I was amazed, because I could not keep anything down. And I mean anything, not even water, not my methadone, nothing would stay down for me. And so the IV was how he survived, or even is here today. I will say that. I can guarantee you that. So I fought for his life 3 times. It was very hard, very hard. I always thought that I was going to lose him. You know, I went into labor twice, that I really thought that I was going to end up having him, and then they stopped my labor after a few days. But the third time, they was not able to, and he was born premature, but he was 5 pounds 12 ounces, a healthy little boy. I mean, he was addicted to the methadone, so we had to get him off of that. And of course, CYS tried to take him, actually did take him straight from the hospital because he came out with opiates in his system. Because why? I had surgery a month before he was born. Really? You know, when I was in my surgery, they found 7 bleeding ulcers in my stomach. You know, and I would not let them touch my stomach. Every time that they tried to say surgery, I would tell them, no, there's no way that you're going to touch my stomach nor cut my stomach. No way, no way, no how. No surgeries. Not while I'm pregnant. You know, so that in itself was, well, I guess you could say a living hell. But then I went into McGee's hospital and I was there for months. I believe 3 months was my longest time being there. And I'm not even going to get into me and the baby's father, what happened while I was in the hospital and all that. What he had to go through, you know, watching his baby's mom going through this, and he didn't handle it very well. Let's just say it like that. And I'm not getting into it too much because that's not an easy subject to talk about. But it is what it is, and God knows my life is so much better. It is 110% better because I even beat the methadone, not only just the narcotics that was prescribed. You know, it was from 2009 to 2011 on narcotics that I have paperwork on to say what I was on them days. And then I got to the point where I didn't want to be on that no more. And I did have 6 surgeries in 7 years to try to keep a leg that I lost in September. But before I did that, I got onto methadone to get off of the medication that I was on. And methadone, even though it got me clean, it's very, very hard to get off of. It's just a drug replacing a drug, you know. And I thank God for methadone, though. I mean, yeah, it is what it is, and, you know, all that, but it still helped. It got me off of the illegal drugs, you could say. And when I was in my accident, like, I asked God, literally, to please let me live and let me fix my life, and He did. He did. He gave me that chance. And I will not stop until I fix everything in my life. I won't stop. I don't care how far I gotta go, what I gotta do, nothing. I'm doing it. I lost my leg in September, and I'm completely off all the medications that they had me on. That's big. Sorry, I had to drink some milk there. I love milk. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I mean, the methadone itself, and I'm not going to say where I got it from or anything like that, but that place doesn't even exist anymore. But I still thank the people that helped me with the methadone, you know. Some people might not agree with that. That's fine. Everybody has their own opinion, you know, and if I would have known that methadone was as hard to get off of before I started it, I wouldn't have done it. Because it was worse than being dope sick. It was wrenching, literally. I mean, your stomach would hurt so bad if you missed one wee little dose. One. We had to go every day to get it. Sign for it and drink it in front of people. I mean, it's not like, well, I'm just not gonna really too much get into that, because the woman that had that methadone clinic is going through absolute hell right now, because the place burnt down. And wow, I gotta say this, okay? God was with her when she did this for a lot of people. She got a lot of people clean off of heroin and like pills, stuff like that. You know, yeah, it was replacing that with another drug. I agree with that, but I would still testify for her any day and be on her side any day, because it got me to where I am today. And me being completely sober every day, I feel everything now. Everything. Everything that was masked, that I was able to wear that mask behind the drugs, the medication prescribed. Unbelievable. There is no word for that except for unbelievable. And if you haven't been on the medication, you can't sit there and say you can judge me, because it's doctors that prescribed it. My insurance paid for it. My and without it, I couldn't walk. You know, I the pain was unbelievable. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Today, I'm completely sober. I kicked even the medication that I was on when I had my surgery to take my leg off in September. I was only on it long enough to be able to get up and move around and walk and like get everything squared away, as you could say, I guess. Like, I don't even know. Like, you could say my leg came off in September, and the medication that they had me on again was oxymorphine, oxycontin, and oxycodone. Same as when I had my accident. But then again, without that medication, when I had physical therapy come into my house every day, they got me to walk again. That's huge. Um, being able to walk again without pain, I haven't been able to do that in 7 years. And with my new leg, I can do that. It is possible. It is possible to have a good life again. And I'm a witness to that. I'm living proof of it. God answers prayers every day, and He sure has with me. I will say all the time. He really did. I have a few songs that I'd like to sing again, and then I'm gonna load them up to YouTube. I made a YouTube last night, but I'm not going to share how to get to it or anything like that. If you want to know that, please private message me, because I have people watching my phone right now, and I know I do. My phone calls drop in the middle of talking to people. I can hear people on the other line, like, I'm like, was that you, to the person I'm talking to? And they're like, no, I thought that was you. And it wasn't none of us. So something's going on with my phone, where I do believe there's people listening in on my phone. I'm not sure exactly who, but I have ideas. And that's fine. I have nothing to hide. I don't need to. My life is with God, okay? I love God. And God saved me so many ways and so many times that I couldn't even begin to start, he's making this possible, he answered a really big prayer today when I seen it on Facebook, where they're going to be investigating into like children and youth when they make lies up or false allegations or anything like that, that they are actually going to we can actually sue them now. Before, it was really hard to do. You could, but you really had to have your ducks in a row and everything, had to be tip-top shape perfect, but everything that I'm saying and that people are saying I'm lying about, whoa, wait a second. How are you lying when you have proof? You have it right in your paperwork. You can't lie when you can prove it. And the gag order that I'm on, wow. It is literally like having your hands tied behind your back, tape over your mouth, and your children are right in front of you. But you cannot hug them. You cannot tell them how much you love them. Nothing. That's what you do, I guess, now. That's what happens when you tell the truth. When you tell someone the truth, and they look into it, and they see you're telling the truth, and they get a hold of media, and it goes nationwide. I took everything down. Everything they asked me. No pictures of my children. That was hard to take down. Pictures of my children were all I had. Now, I was able to still save them in my phone, but it's still, just watching them being deleted was heartbreaking. But the thing is I could not be prouder of Trump, the president. Wow. He has done some amazing things already and still continues to do so. And I don't think he's going to let people get away with, like I say, and a lot of other people say with me too, that children and youth is a money scam. Per every child that children and youth have taken, foster care gets $1,500 per child. $1,500 a month per child. Look at all the cases. And you cannot tell me, and I have to say for my case, I know I'm telling the truth. I never hurt my children, never would hurt my children. But for other people's cases, I can't say they didn't hurt them, or, stuff that people are saying that they did or whatever, because I don't know. But for me, I know. I know the truth. God knows the truth. That's all we need, is to know we're telling the truth. That's it. And I can't see how evil someone has to be able to take children out of someone's arms, literally, and placing them with a family that they don't even know. But us as parents supposedly hurt them and traumatize them. Okay, what are they doing by taking the children? First off, ripping them from people's arms, and I've literally seen it on video where they did. Rip them from the mother's arms as the mother was screaming, the child was screaming. That is traumatized. And then they put them in with a family that the children has no idea who they are, and then that family wants the child to call them mom and dad, and they've already known who their real mom and dad are. As for my case, the foster parents have gotten away with way too much. If I would have done the stuff to the foster parents that the foster parents did to me, to be in jail. But COS is okay with that. Children and youth is okay with foster parents threatening a mother's life of the child that they are fostering and changing his name. They're okay with, wow. They're okay with everything that the foster parents have done and everything that I have in file to prove that they have done. Nobody took the time to look at it or care if they did look at it. Over 100 messages of them pleading and crying and begging to leave their son with them. Talking about my son. That I fought for his life 3 times. Now that's enough. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to stop ever until my son is home. I'm sorry for losing my temper, but this is enough. I had a very horrible childhood, yes. Okay, but that has nothing to do with my children. Where they are, how they're taken care of, or anything. Except for, it does have something to do with the fact of what I said from day one when I was abused in the ways I was abused. When I said, that will never happen to my children. Never. Nobody, including myself, will get away with what I went through with my children. Nobody. And I never hurt my children. And I never would, because I know what it feels like. How dirty you can feel. And alone. And like nobody cares. People knew what I was going through. They did nothing. Just like children and youth is doing nothing about what's going on with our children. And I'm not talking about my 2 oldest children. I'm not allowed. And that's fine. They can shut me up on that. Other people have the story and have had the story before the gag order went into place. It had already went viral way before that. First day. And when I contacted the people, the media that took hold of the story and told them to take the story down again, you know, that I'm gagged and I can't have that out there, the exact words to me was, we don't take stories down. We repost them and make them go viral because we are the media. We are from out of state. Nobody can stop us. Nobody. And they're right. Jurisdiction? Nobody has jurisdiction over what's going on right now and who's doing what with my case. It's not me. I have God sent people to me to help me. Once I lost my leg and he knew I was going to be able to walk again and get my life back. There you go. Here comes people to visit. I tell them my story. I cry to them. As a mother, cry. You know, and they hear my story from me, out of my mouth. And then they investigate into it. and they find out that I'm telling the truth, and they get a hold of the right people in the media, and it just goes wild. And I'm the one that has to pay for it. No. It does not work like that. And you can gag me. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I will be screaming all the way to court, Supreme Court, Superior Court, whatever I got to get heard. I will get a hold of my president if I have to. So just to know, this is not going to happen for much longer. I promise you. You can put me in jail. I don't see how, but that's what they're trying to do on Friday with the gag order. They're saying I'm in contempt because everybody else hasn't taken the story down. There is thousands of supporters out there. So are they going to make thousands of people that I don't even know who they are, never spoke to, don't even go on their page, nothing. How are they going to make them all take it down? It's impossible. This story is nationwide. And I'm actually going to make a copy of this video because I don't want to be told on Friday I said something I shouldn't have said or anything like that. Anything. And like I said, I'm not getting into the middle of what's going on with the two oldest kids. I'm not. That's in God's hands. There you go. But my son, the baby, you best believe you woke up a mama bear that's been asleep for 7 years. Fought through 6 surgeries on a leg that we tried to save. Soon as that leg was gone, what happened? God woke me up. That's what happened. Now I feel the pain. And not the pain in my leg, not the pain of my accident, not even the pain from, I would rather go through what I went through in the Amish by 10 times than to go through what I'm going through today. I fought for these children's lives. I carried them, felt them kicking and moving in my belly, and watched ashtrays fly off my belly just to play with them while they were still in my stomach. Now all I have is memories. Is that enough for a parent? Is that really what this world has come to? Because if so, then I'm sorry to say this, but I'd rather not even be in this world. And I'm not saying I'm suicidal, because I'm not. I'm not even depressed. I have PTSD. I'm diagnosed with that from my psychologist, and he's willing to testify for me to tell my story because me and him both cried when I told my story. He couldn't believe it. My story is so huge and so heartbreaking and so unbelievable that I can almost not even believe it. But it's my life. It's my life. It's what I went through. Not my children. And my children will never have to go through that. Because they have the mother they have. Nobody's ever, and I mean ever, like I said before, just a little bit ago, never gonna get away with hurting my children, including myself. And I promise you, may God strike me dead right now, I never even spanked my children, let alone hurt them. Or, as people have said, molested, raped, tied, gagged, took them to strip clubs, watched men rape them. All those allegations are, oh my God, gross. Unfreaking believably disgusting. Do I look like a monster? I might sound like one right now because I'm getting a little bit angry, but I've really had enough. How can people get away with taking our children and making up lies after lies after lies after lies, and everything else just has to be. Just has to be like that. No, it don't. And it's not gonna be. Because I am, so help me God, so close to going to Donald Trump himself with all of this. Maybe then people will wake up and understand the pain of a mother. I told myself I was not going to cry. I was not going to cry. I prayed. And I pray every day. Every day, all day. Just like I miss my children all day, every day, 24/7. Even when I am sleeping, I don't get peace. Why? Because I dream of them. They're always home. We're happy. We're, good times. And then I wake up and it's a dream. So I cry. I'm not depressed. Not one bit. I'm traumatized. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is what I have. And I am on medication for it, yes. That medication has saved my life many times. Because before I was on the right medications for it, there's many times I wanted to give up. Many times. And my husband will even tell you guys. My friends can even tell you guys what I go through. My friends and my family and my supporters, you guys all mean so much to me. Because it's a silenced mother on a part of it. But I don't have to be silenced forever. And I won't be. I promise you. I promise you. I will never, ever, ever, and I will say all the way to the day I die, I will never give up on my children. Never. I can't even tell you guys the feeling right now. I mean, I'm trying, and I'm trying not to lose my cool, but it's not easy. I knew my mom for 1.5 years, but this is the thing. I always wanted to know more about her. Even when people told me she was dead, she died at 11 years old. And that's not true. She did not. They told me that so that I would not go out and look for her, but that's okay. You know, I have to forgive them. I have to. It's not easy, but I will. Because Jesus died on the cross for all our sins, including theirs. Nobody's perfect. I understand that too. But I will say this much. When my mom died, I was lost. I hated God. I blamed God for taking her, and I got lost in the world of drugs. She died in 2001. My daughter came in 2004. It wasn't long after she was born. Wow. I got pregnant with my second child 1.5 years later. Me and the kids' dad, and so help me God, everybody knows he was not perfect. He was by far not. And he made his mistakes, but he was also an abused child. By his own parents, supposedly. I sometimes wonder if it's really true that, you know, all that happened with them, because that's the kids' grandparents. And it's kind of the same people that are saying this stuff against me that put them in jail, the kids' grandparents. So I know I didn't do it. What if they didn't? They died. They went to their graves with people thinking they did. What if they didn't? I'm not saying they did or didn't. You know, I'm not God. God knows. That's all I got to say. And whoever hurts a child or hurts anyone or anything like that, we'll pay for it at the end of our lives. Either way. But by being a mother, how can you be in the wrong? I'm just going to tell you guys what really happened with that case, where I actually went into the police station and told them to charge me. Let me prove my innocence so that I can get my kids home. Wow. Did I really do that? You know? Really? How stupid. How dumb. I mean, I have cops that are my supporters, and they even looked at me and said, no offense, but that's just dumb. You know? And it is. It was very dumb. But I did. Because I was desperate. So I told them to charge me. They did. But they charged me with indecent assault to where I was telling them a story about my daughter coming to me and saying, "Mommy, my hoo-hoo hurts." My hoo-hoo hurts. And that is what she would call her privates. So I checked. It was a little bit red, and I put cream on it. If I didn't do that, then I get it for neglect. But because I did that, they say that's indecent assault. Wait a second. So you're saying being a good mom and making sure that my daughter doesn't hurt, I'm in the wrong. Make me look like a monster, like my abusers were. I don't think so. And then I said, well, the only thing I can think of is that part that for my daughter, and then my son, I said, for him, I said, I remember one time when he was learning to wipe his butt and I was cooking dinner, and I told him, I said, just go ahead, wipe, Mommy will be in to check you. And I did. I went in, I looked, I spread his butt cheek, I looked, good job, give him a high five, wash his hands, and we went and we ate. That's indecent assault. What? What? I had a nervous breakdown after she said that I hurt my children. And I said, what do you mean? I really hurt my children? And she said, maybe not, you might not have meant to, but yes, you did. I literally had a nervous breakdown. I had to go into the hospital and get help because I wanted to die. Then I talked to my doctors in there, and guess what they said? That is not indecent assault. That is a mother being a mother. So I did what I planned on doing the whole time anyway, try to prove my innocence. Every time that they made me a deal, it went from 1 year in jail to no deal, 6 months in jail, no deal, to 3 months in jail, no deal, to, I believe there was another one where it was 6 months house arrest, where I said no deal. When it was time to take it to trial, this is where the big part comes in. When it was time to take it to trial, my attorney tells me, okay, we can take it to trial if you want, but do you have the money to take it to trial? I told him, I said, I have all but the $1,500. And he says, well, I'm going to tell you the truth. You're not going to get a better deal than today. And not only that, if you don't have the money to take it to trial, I can't be your attorney, and you're going to have to take the deal. I was on 90 milligrams of methadone that day. 90 milligrams. Went every day, got it, signed for it, proved it. So I'm actually in the middle of suing this attorney because he lied. Not only that I have to take the deal, but also he lied, and I asked him, if I plead no contest to this, that doesn't mean that I'm saying I did it, right? And he says, no, pleading no contest just means that you're not saying if you did or didn't. Well, pleading no contest just might as well be a blunt out, I did it, because that's how people are looking at it. Anyway, the 3 months house arrest, but before I forgot about that, before I started that, when I was still in the courthouse there and talked to my attorney, I asked my attorney, I said, my son is living with me, so is that going to stop me from having my son? No. And if they take your son, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. No, 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 that won't happen. So I signed that deal on 90 milligrams of methadone. It was the worst thing anyone could ever do. And he's an attorney, and he told me it's the best thing I could do right now. It's the best deal I can get. No, I wanted to take it to trial so that I can show that I did not do this, so that I can get my kids home. 3 days into the house arrest. What happens? My son's at my house. Of course. Probation comes into my house to approve my house for house arrest. They see my son, and they tell me I have to get him out of the house now. They took my bracelet off my ankle, and they said, we're gonna send it back to Uniontown, Fayette County, because I kept telling them that I was going to appeal this case then. Because I was told I could have my son there. Well, supposedly in Lawrence County, you cannot. I pleaded no contest on child endangerment. I lost my son over it. Over a lie. Over a huge, big, fat lie. Wow. But the lawsuit will start very soon for him. I've already called him, asked him if he knew that I was on that medication. No, he didn't know. Did he know I lost my son? Yes, he heard. He was not concerned, not one bit, and it didn't even matter that I fired him for after I found out that he had lied. I just called his office and said, I don't need him for an attorney ever again no more. Now I find out that during the methadone, 90 milligrams of methadone, I can actually overturn that plea deal. Great news. Great news. The best. On 90 milligrams of methadone, I will tell you how I was. I would sit there and I would literally nod out. Fall asleep. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But here I am. Here I sit. Here I wait. Here I pray. My house is a 4-bedroom house. It is completely set up and ready to go for the children. I have school ready for them. I even have family counseling. So I can let my children know that I did fight for them. I did everything I could for getting them home. Oh, wow. Family counseling that I have set up is for the children, me, and my husband to all go to, so that we can sit down and hear each other, and we don't have to worry about, blaming each other or traumatizing each other or anything like that. I have a mediation coming up. I won't say what I'm going to go for the mediation because I don't want nobody knowing. Supporters and all you guys out there, I'm sorry, but I can't. If you want to know that, you can get a hold of my spokesperson, or I'll post later about it. I will say this much, like I said from the get-go, from I don't even know how long ago, but a mother's heart breaks for her children every day. And I have to say, in experience, my heart broke every day for my mother. Even when I was told that she wasn't alive, I always knew deep down she was not gone. I didn't have that gut-wrenching, empty feeling that I have today for my mom. And that feeling is very hard. I knew her for a year and a half. And just like that, she was gone. And she was one of the best people, let alone best moms that you could ever find. And I gotta say this, I never appreciated her for anything like I should have. Appreciate your mom before she's gone. Because one day, all you'll have is memories. And my mom used to say that to me and my sister both. One day I won't be here. And then I never felt it till just after she died. After she wasn't here no more. But I was actually going to do, I don't know, I've done quite a long video already, but if you guys can hold in there, I was going to sing another song for her. It's in memory of my mom, and even the love of a mother for a child, or a child for their mother. Either way. So, if you guys want me to do that, I will do that now. The song is called Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, undertaker, please do drive slow, for the lady you are hauling, oh how I hate to see her go. I was standing by my window one cold and cloudy day, when I saw the hearse was coming for to carry my mother away. I will follow close behind her, try to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in her grave. I went back home, my home was so lonesome, since my mother, she had gone. All my brothers crying. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. And this was one I used to sing on a harmonica when I was still Amish. And this was for the love of Jesus, for what he did for us all, for our sins, for everyone, and saved us all, you know. And this one is called 30 Pieces of Silver. So, here goes. 30 pieces of silver, 30 shackles of shame, was the price paid for Jesus. On the cross he was slain, so betrayed and forsaken, unloved and unclaimed. In anger they pierced him, but he died not in vain. 'Tis a sad but true story, from the Bible it came. It's a chosen disciple, though I mention no name. He planned with the council of high priests that day, 30 pieces of silver was the price that they paid. 'Twas there on the hillside the multitude came, and found our dear Savior, and took him away. They smote and they mocked him, thorns were crowned round his head, and raiment of purple shone blood stains of red. Far off in the mountain, his face toward the sun, Judas begged for mercy for what he had done. He gave back that silver, his heart filled with strife. Then there on the mountain he took his own life. 30 pieces of silver, 30 shackles of shame, was the price paid for Jesus. On the cross he was slain, so betrayed and forsaken, unloved and unclaimed. In anger they pierced him, but he died not in vain. So I think I'm going to try and do two. Well, there was one more I really liked. I might hang in there with you guys and do one more for you guys if you want. This one is Mother's Grave. Wow. No, I don't think I'm doing that one. I'll cry, I know I will. Maybe at a later time I will. I'm trying to choke back from crying now, and I don't want to. I cry enough. I can't tell you the pain. I can show you the pain. I'm looking at pictures of my children right now on my walls, all over my house. Pictures and memories is all we have. And now I can't post pictures of the two oldest. I can for the baby, but I can't. Anyway, I'm just not gonna get into that. As you guys see, it is, what time in the morning? Let me see. 2:41 in the morning. I went to sleep about 4 something in the morning this morning. Or, well, I guess I should say yesterday morning. I slept till 8:30. And I was up the rest of the day. I cleaned my house like I do every day. Washed the dishes that we used from the night before. You know. Try to stay busy. I'm making baby blankets to keep my mind off of what's really going on. It just keeps my mind busy so that I don't have to, as my mom would have said, idle hands are the devil's hands. So I try to stay busy, no matter what it is. If it's cooking, if it's cleaning, if it's baking, if it's working on canvas, plastic canvas. I make stuff, orders for that. Beads that I put together for what we used to use in school for babies. Or school. Wait a second, not school. In church for our babies in the Amish. I'm sorry, guys. But out here, I'm not so sure that people would use the beads for babies. They're strong enough. They don't look like the string is strong enough to hold them from being broken or anything, but they are. We use fishing line, so it's strong enough, believe me. We use really, really thick fishing line. So if a fish about my size can be on that line, then a baby definitely can't break it. So, anyway, yeah, I am getting behind myself here, but if you guys want to order baby blankets, I have pictures. I believe they're on my Facebook still. If not, I'll post some here in a little bit again of baby blankets that we're making. They're absolutely gorgeous. I have 4 ready to go, and we're actually going to be a vendor on someone's store that's going to be selling them for us as well. But they're going to be online, so once that all gets done, I'll let you guys know. But pretty sure there's pictures on Facebook of them. If not, like I said, I can always put them on there. I've made like scarves. I don't know if you guys know what scarves are or not. Go around you, wrap around you. Amish people used them. Don't really see them so much out here. You see the big, wider ones, I guess. But I make those as well. Just try to stay busy. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's not using drugs or hurting someone or anything like that, then I know my mom approves. My mom, God rest her soul, seriously, just, wow. She was the type of woman that would have taken her shirt off her back for everyone. And they had me believing she was a monster and she hated me and she didn't want me, even when they said that she was alive. And then they tell me that she died. And I find her when I was 17. Talking to the right people, and they said, wait a second, your mom's alive. And she was. When I got to the door of my mom's house, I can't tell you the feeling I had. Am I going to meet a stranger today? Yes, because I don't know her. My sister too, and I love my sister. I have made a lot of mistakes with my sister, and with my mom, and even with my children. I'll be the first one to say I've made mistakes. But I'm clean off of all illegal drugs. Almost 5 years. And off of pain medications only a few months. But that was prescribed by doctors for my leg. I don't have no pain in my leg anymore. Where they cut it off didn't hurt above there, you know. It hurt from the knee down. And that's gone. My leg, I love my leg. It doesn't look really like a leg, but believe me, it's a leg. It just kind of swings along like a real leg. It bends at the knee just like a real leg. But it's only, the one I have is only a practice leg. What they call a practice leg, I guess. Beginner's leg. Till your swelling goes down, and then they'll make a rubber that goes around the leg, and they'll make it different than what the other one is right now. It'll be like a real leg, really. But yeah, I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is looking at it. But it gets me up and gets me walking again, so that's a plus. And God knows I needed that for a long time to be able to get up and walk. Something that I always took for advantage, you know, took for granted, whatever. Same as I'm sure my supporters and my friends and family will even tell you. Yeah. You know, you don't realize how much you use something until you don't have it. Or how much you miss someone until you don't have them. Or how much you need them until you don't have them. If you guys don't mind, I'm actually going to smoke a cigarette. Yes, this is one thing that keeps me calm. But not a good thing, I know. But I went from smoking a pack a day to about 4 or 5, roughly around there. Because when I took my leg off, they said that it would actually slow my healing down if I smoked. So me being in the hospital, I couldn't smoke. So when I got out, I tried to quit. It didn't work too good. But they gave me nicotine patches and nicotine gum, and I did really good on that for a while. And then now I'm back to about, like I said, 3, 4 cigarettes a day. Depends on, you know, what's going on. If I'm taking a trip to Uniontown, which I do once a freaking month, about all this crap. At least once a month, sometimes more. And every trip to Uniontown costs me $100 to go. And I'm not saying that's too much. Because the people that take me take the day off work, you know, to do this. My husband, when he works, if there's a court hearing and he has to work, there's nothing he can do about it because He has to. It's roofs. It's building houses that they got to get roofs on, you know. In this kind of weather, it's been rough, so he's had a few days off, but he's back to work again, and it seems like every time that there's a court hearing coming up or something going on like that, he's working. And that's good. That's really good that he is, because, you know, that's what's going to take care of me and him and our children, you know. We've saved up a bunch of money for their Christmas from last year because we didn't get to have Christmas with them. So the money's still there waiting for us. When we get the news that they're coming home even for a day, or we get to see them, then we'll have Christmas. You guys have Christmas in December. I'm not sure when we're going to have Christmas. I did not buy my husband anything for Christmas. My husband didn't buy me anything for Christmas because we said we want to do for the children. And last year, I couldn't for the two oldest children for 6 years, but we did give the baby a Christmas gift. A huge Christmas gift. Wow. A lot of different stuff that we took actually to Uniontown for him at a visit. And he loved it. And I asked him if he wanted to take it home with him. And he says, "No, Mommy, take it with you." So I did. It's still here. It's up in his room. It's never been played with since that day that he played with it when he opened it. I won't let children play with it when they come here. That is his. Just like I have gifts and birthday gifts and cards and you name it, waiting for the other kids too. Nobody knows how hard it is for any holiday, birthdays, how hard it is to have to sit there and not be able to give what you get for your own children. Easter dress I have for my daughter for last year. Easter baskets for all three of the kids. Easter suits that I got for the boys, and then I got my daughter a dress that matched the suits. Nice and really pretty green. It was to go to church. Because we go to church. But no, I can't even give them that till the day. So help me God, the day they come home. My hopes never went away. I never felt like I was never going to get my kids home. I knew God does everything on His own time. But I did not feel the way I do today either. The time has come. This is God's timing. Once I lost my leg and God seen that I was going to be able to have a life again, He opened doors for me. All I had to do was walk through them, and I did. Very soon, I do believe, so help me God, I'll have my day to tell my story in court and get my babies home. Children and youth and everybody else to deal with foster cares, anything like that. I don't agree with it. And there's a lot of people that don't. But then there's a lot of people that don't even know that this is happening. And this is why I do these videos and why I spoke out to the people I did, was to get my story out there and to get help, but also to make people aware. This is possible. It's as possible as me sitting here talking to you. It's as real as anything ever was. And it's corrupt. And has to be stopped. Looked into, I should say. Because not all foster families out there are bad. Not all children's services are bad. Not all judges and attorneys and people that have done me wrong, not all of them are bad. Not saying that. But there's those few that are, that have to be stopped. And like I said, I have even thought about either going to Donald Trump, my president. I absolutely love him for everything he has done and keeps continuing to do for us and for America. And wow, unbelievable as well. But neither here nor there. Thought about going to him or writing him a letter to request that he looks into children and youth all over this world. Because this is not only happening in Fayette County. It is happening all over the world. God gives parents children because He trusts them to have them and to bring them up to be God-fearing, God-loving children. That's what I want to do. You can't tell me, nobody can tell me that's wrong to want to do that. And to show your children the life you never had. I won't stop until my children have that life. And I'm not saying that I don't thank people for coming forward when I needed help. But when I got fixed up, being denied, you might as well have shot me in the head. And made me brain dead. Because that is how I suffer today. Except for I know what's going on and I can actually feel it now. But I said a while ago I was going to get off of here, and here I keep going. So anyway, people, please keep praying and just keep this video moving around the world. It's a cry from a mother to her mother, and a cry for a mother for her children as well. I think I'm going to go and work on a baby blanket until I get to the point where I get tired. So, God bless you all out there. I love you all. And we'll keep doing what we're doing. Waiting till that day. So, God bless, and please, everybody, have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend, whatever. I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I'm sure some people know. So, with that, I'm going to sign off of here and say good night. Love you all.